All right. So I'm not much of a get ready with me or day in the life because I have a boring life, but the boring pays the bills. So today I actually have a semi interesting day. I have shirts to do. I have to take some to the post office. Pretty mundane. I get it. Pays the bills. But I'm also recording a podcast and I'm having lunch with my dog. And then I'm going to the golf course to do some video work with Blummer and a ball launch monitor that he got. And I thought, hey, it's kind of interesting day for me. It's not not the normal kind of day, so come check it out. Let's see what it's like on one of my interesting days, and see how it goes. Let's roll. Well, my plans have changed. Had a little setback on the golf recording with Blum, which is fine. Things happen. Have to adjust. And so I thought I could come to the office and make some content. And the light that I use, one of the little mounts just sheared straight off. So this is the part that this usually has like a quarter 20 sticking out of it like this. But I like this because it was padded, and this thing is heavy. This is a cheap kind of knockoff, and this thing is, I'd be kind of afraid to throw this at someone because it's, when my light sheared off, my battery adapter broke, so I'm kind of rigging it up. But it works. I think the light works. That's the best thing. But things happen. It could have been a lot worse. It could have been a tripod that messed up, or something with my camera. I love my camera. All right, so we're gonna try one of these driving vlogs again because I have a lot of driving to do today, and it's a nice way to give an update. Plus, there's not a lot of thinking about it. It's just record, talk, and get what is in here, out here to you. I've got a 27-minute drive to get some supplies that I need for this upcoming kind of run of t-shirts that I need to be doing. And then let me preface this by saying it is Tuesday, March 24th, and we are heading out. So I have a drive up to pretty much Conroe to pick up some supplies. Then I got to go all the way out to Katy to pick up one single shirt, just because I don't have it in stock, and I usually keep one of each in stock, and this one was just not in stock on my shelf, and I just kind of waited until I really needed one, and now I really need one. So if you follow me on social media, you know that I hurt myself last Saturday, and I'm still on the mend. It's a process, and like I said, I don't know what happened. I watched the U of H basketball game. I think it was the Puerto Rico game, and then I watched the USA game, and then I got up and my back just froze up. I'm still struggling. It's a hassle sitting down like this. Even in the shop, trying to design, trying to edit videos. I can sit for 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes, and I have to get up. I have to stretch. I have to, do something. Or if I'm working on t-shirts, I'm sitting there working on shirts, I need to, same thing. I can't stand there for 30, 45 minutes. I've got to go sit down and kind of relax, because it's just that my back gets tight, and it's still a hassle right now. So we'll work through that. But this launch of this new shirt, this retro series, has gone pretty well. I want to thank everybody who ordered. I don't know if all this noise is going to be so bad, so let me do this. Uh, so this retro shirt that we launched has gone pretty well. Of course, I would like more sales, but it's progressing, and I get it that everything's expensive right now. Gas is high, and work is work. So the support has been awesome. The sales have been great, and I'm hoping once people start seeing them out, and I can actually model the real one in front of other people, with actual people, others will buy as well. So I'm excited. I think it's a good design. I'm not patting myself on the back, but I really liked it. It's something I'm proud of. I'm proud of all the stuff I do, but some things I know that it's quick, and it's just text and put it out there, and people like that too. It took a little bit more time because I just thought about this a little bit differently, and like I want a bigger graphic, I want a kind of a retro vibe, and that's what it came out. And it took a couple of iterations. I was just gonna put H Town in that Japanese katakana, and I had mocked it up and showed a couple of people. They're like, "Oh, that's cool. I like that. I like where you're going." And I just felt like it was not enough. I think it would sell, and I think I might still release it. I thought it was a $15 to $19 shirt, and I wanted to really work on something more graphical, bigger print. It took more time. And I feel like this is a quality $25 shirt. I think other brands could charge more, but that's where I'm at right now. Now the next part of this design series, this retro series, I'm going to give you a little bit of insight right here on YouTube, only on YouTube. So the next one that I want to do, that I've kind of already started, deals with a hot dog. And it's kind of the same way of the baseball. It has arms and legs, and it's doing something. This is a hot dog at the ballpark, and it's it's about talking about it's a bad day to be a hot dog, because that's kind of Americana. That's part of the pastime, eating a hot dog at the ballpark. That's what I want to do next. I might have it where it's using puff paint. So the screen printing process, it has an additive added to it where it puffs the paint out. So it has kind of a texture, but it's raised a little bit. I've never used it in a design before. I'm really excited to use it. I hope it goes well. So we'll see about that. But that's the idea. So only here on YouTube will you get that insight that the next retro shirt that I have planned is a hot dog. We've got the launch, the shirts, starting tomorrow for that retro series. I've got stuff for, Julia Morales' line that, she's doing a pop-up, and I've got to get, a whole stack of shirts and hats for her. Now that she's getting, back into the groove of doing some pop-ups. So that's good. One of my other clients, Still Foundry. If y'all haven't checked him out, go check him out. Houston designer, Houston-based graphics and whatnot. He's doing more pop-ups, and so he's ordering a bunch of more stuff. So that's awesome. That's keeping me busy as well. It's going to be a busy week. And last week I probably couldn't have done it, just because of my injury. And I know tomorrow's going to be tough, but I know that I'll probably have some help. So of course y'all know that I have a great relationship with Jeff Blum, but one of the little aspects of it is that I'm kind of his camera guy, and so with that comes media access to MLB games. That's why you've seen me on the field at Wrigley Field, or up in Pittsburgh I was on the field. In Minnesota I was on the field, and of course at the Astros games. Those are a lot easier to get into, but I get that access through him, so I can film stuff with him on the field of what he's thinking, or kind of different things. So because of the season's coming up, that's also coming up, and that's exciting. It's still awesome for me to step in there and be on the field, see these guys that I watch on TV walking by me, saying hello, and I look forward to that, every single year. I don't know what away games that I'm going to this year just yet. We haven't decided that. I think we're gonna for sure do a Rangers game, Ranger series. I still haven't been to the new Ranger Stadium. Went to the old one several times, but haven't been to the new one. And I think for sure we're gonna do that. So I want to definitely try to get on the field for that. I don't know what other games we're going to go to. We had a kind of a list of some cities that we wanted to try to visit. We'll see if that actually comes to fruition. But that's what's coming up. We got the launch this week. The new design that I want to start working on, but I don't have to release until 4 or 5 weeks down the road. I've got the baseball season to look forward to, and my clients that are doing well. That when they're doing well, I'm doing well, and so everything's kind of coming together at a really good time. So I'm almost here at the next place that I need to stop, and I think I'll end it there because we talked about what's going on this week, next week, this baseball season, and I think we'll cut it off there. So appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for dealing with this. I don't even know if this is going to be usable, but if it is, thanks for watching. And I promise I'll be better. I'll record more. All right. See you on the next one. Peace.